and the dogs.
Here we go. Yep.
All right. This is one of the several login screens for Linux on this laptop. And on one of the text screens, which I think I can get to by going like this, it's waiting to run what's called Valid Vote, which is a program that helps a voter or a dog vote in a democratic election in a very open and accountable to the public way. That's going to invoke the program. And this is the first screen a voter will see, and it asks for a voter key and says hit enter. The voter key for the F screen is FLU, which you would tell the voters that when you send them to the polling booth. And then we get the main menu screen, which I hope you can get a good shot of. And this is a text menuing interface that people that I've had run Valid Vote haven't had a whole lot of trouble with. Which office do you want to run for, Bo? See, he won't commit. He won't.
Sounds kind of like the current vice president.
Yeah. So we've got national officers, and then we have submenus for state officers, state referenda, county officers, and so on. And it says use keyboard keys and enter, not mouse. So what you do is you associate a number with an office, and you pick which office or submenu you want to go to, and we're going to go to the president, as people tend to do. And we're going to check, but we're going to choose between Beowulf, Betty Rubble, Fred Flintstone, or Yogi Bear. Or we're going to write in somebody, and I think I'll write in Bo. So I'll hit W and hit enter, and it says type in your write-in choice for this office and hit enter. So I'm going to spell it B, capital B-O, and hit enter. And then I'm going to vote for Happy now. Yeah, he's going to sleep now. See, that's all I wanted to do, was be president. Vice president, we have Tweety Bird, Miss Piggy, Miss Pac-Man, and Kermit the Frog, and I'm a Kermit the Frog guy from way back. Now, we have two other options besides the submenus in the national. Preview how your ballot will look, and that's your paper ballot will look. We have finish and print your paper ballot. So let's preview what we've done so far. We voted for Bo for president, and we voted for Kermit the Frog for vice president. Everything else, including the referenda, to abstain. So you can change a vote. Bark at that, but he won't. So we'll leave Bo up there by just redoing it. And most voters will want to go through the entire process, quite a few. But let's do some submenus while we're here. Let's go to state referendum. We get a submenu here. Wyoming has 3 referenda this year. Type in a number from 1 to 3 to view the possible referenda, and I think I want to look at 3. A bill banning margarine, and I am the sponsor of that bill. And then if you hit enter, you leave the submenu and come back to the main menu. We can hit preview again. Oh, enter. Hitting backspace doesn't do anything. Hitting P shows that we did vote yes for the referendum. This is your voter ID number, which is generated at random. And you, in the real world, when we have this connect each ballot booth, you'll get a printed ballot that looks pretty much like this with this number on it. And you'll also get a receipt with nothing but this number on it, which you get to keep. So for demonstration expedience purposes, I'm going to go ahead and finish up. I'm going to hit F, and we get a "Are you sure?" screen that says this is it. The next time you hit enter, with no other keys, your final official ballot will be printed out. Your anonymously ID'd receipt will be then printed out, added to the electronic unofficial tally. The key here is that the paper ballot is the document of the vote, and the electronic data is the trail. This is not a paper trail. The data is. The paper doesn't need to leave trails. It needs to go in a box. So we'll hit enter, and this is an error message from me because I don't have a printer attached to it. But on election day, your ballot would be coming out of the printer, looking just like the P preview that you just saw before, except it'll have a header for your local jurisdiction. And then after your ballot comes out, the receipt will come out. Now, the fade up for about 20 seconds, and then we got a T instead of an F so that somebody won't accidentally re-vote. And it's ready for another voter. And it's the software, the program itself is a Unix shell script. It's written in what's also known as GNU Bash, which is a type of Unix shell. Very widespread and a very well-known programming language that is technically an interpreter. It's not a compiled language. The program is not stored as a compiled form. It's always text. It's for maximum accountability. Now, there's another aspect of this I'd like to show you. We're going to switch to a different login screen where I've already logged in as root, which is administrator on a Unix machine. And we're going to change to home voter and do a directory thing here and see if we have a tally file, which I believe we do, which should be valid tally. So we'll do and look at the tally file. Now these are some previous voters that are friends of mine and various activist denizens of some of my hangouts. And this is the vote that I just told. And he's sleeping peacefully now because he's going to be president. And Kermit the Frog, and yes on ban margarine. And here's the unique voter ID for that particular ballot. This is the data that identifies the precinct we're voting in. And this is a previous voter with a different ID, different choices for things. And votes is a very extensible record for a database. So that all you have to do to make a national database is take the local files and concatenate, which the Unix shell interface provides very well known in the Unix world. So it's a trivial matter to assemble a very quick and fairly accurate preliminary tally out of the data. May not obviate the need for a hand count of the physical the voters also put in a ballot box. And each voter can keep their printed copy of this number, so they can associate their vote with this file. Presumably it's posted publicly when the actual database of the vote is posted publicly, presumably after close of polls in Hawaii or some similarly strategic time. And so I believe that this is about as simple as it can be and about as open and accountable as it can be, and still a very quick, potentially, preliminary electronic tally. And it's entirely open source, which means, and that combined with the fact you do understand this text-driven interface where you have to associate a key with another. Nobody's had tremendous trouble with that, which means you can run this on commodity hardware that most local governments have thrown out the last 10 years. This machine here that I wrote the program on and just demonstrated on was this is about a 7-year-old Dell Inspiron, and it's quite a powerful little computer. So there is no need whatsoever for proprietary hardware, and it is in fact starkly contradictory to the interest of accountability to the public. And my name's Rick Hohensee.